First of all, thank you for inviting us all to the Brenaissance. We appreciate that.
Sure.
It's really an amazing time, I can imagine, in your life. And I'm not sure how it feels when you see like just an outpouring of love coming your way, like all the time now.
Thank you. What can I say? I'm touched, grateful.
Yeah.
From one big heart to mine too, I send it right back.
Yeah.
I hope you come see the whale, because that's what this is about.
Do you ever get the feeling people are incapable of not caring?
Does it feel different, like this point in your life, this time in your life? Does it feel different? Can you receive it differently? I mean, once we've lived a little bit of life, I'm serious, we receive things differently,
I got kids now,
Yeah.
and that really warrants how I make decisions about what I'm going to do, and then whatever it is that I'm doing, about how I feel about what I'm doing. And somehow the stakes get raised to such a point that something that may seem garden variety or normal takes on much more gravity.
Yeah.
And I think as actors and writers and creators, we have to find these inspirations and tools that move us, that really give us a reason to do what we do. And
Right.
look, it's nice work if you can get it. Let's be honest here. And every now and then a piece comes along, if you're lucky, that you find that you connect with in a way that makes you care more. And this is one of those films.
I was a little bit, if I'm being honest, a little like skeptical going in, because I had seen all the video, all the love, all the outpouring. And I'm thinking, can this really sit with people like this? Damn straight it can. Like, no joke. I mean, my mother was obese for the longest time, growing up. So I think I really connected personally to it. And I know you, writing it, you were actually kind of drawing from your experience in college as well.
Yeah, I was. Yeah. I mean, I nothing in the play is directly autobiographical, but it does stem from a lot of personal details that before writing this play, I'd really not accessed in my writing, or maybe even in my life either. I mean, in that way, the writing the play kind of felt like an act of autofiction, an act of self-therapy. And I'm just so glad that I was able to give it to somebody like Brendan, who was such a kind and generous soul, and also brilliant in the role.
Oh, you're getting your flowers today, man. Just sit here and take it. It's happening. It's happening. It's happening. I actually called my mom after watching this film.
Did you?
Because,
Wow.
yeah, because Charlie is so vulnerable in a lot of ways, but so
Yeah.
hidden in a lot of ways. And I guess you don't even really necessarily know that. I mean, like I said, with just being in her life for so long, sometimes you don't even think about what the inner scars can be and what that can happen. And I love when I saw that you said you really connect to Charlie's inner scars. And how so? Can you elaborate on that a little bit?
Charlie's life is one that's lived behind closed doors. And it's a story that really plays out all across the nation and the world. And we don't often know what that is. So when we're invited into his world, his 2-bedroom apartment in somewhere Idaho, and his existence, which has come to a place where sadly he's been harming himself for his broken heart, and that's been through overeating, a combination of depression, a whole host of reasons.
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter. It's just, the point is, he's a person, he's a man, and he's so much more than who he would appear to be to the world. And it's so easy to be cynical and dismiss others that way, when we know the challenge of connecting with those is what brings us closest together. His time is limited. He wants very much to connect with his daughter. And because it's the tension
Yeah.
of the story is there, that we're not always certain if he can or if he's going to make it. Sadie Sink played her role with such a ferocious,
Is she?
gorgeous sadness and beautiful rage that never falls into the trope of the angsty teenager. And what we wind up seeing is, this is a little girl who was hurt badly by her father, and she has every reason to be cross with him, to be polite. Chau, as his friend, his counselor, his caregiver, he puts her in the awkward position of being an enabler of sorts
Yeah.
to him.
Yeah, she is. I mean, you see it. She's bringing him
She's
these things
immensely
that she knows
conflicted.
are going to harm
She's
him.
a medic. She's a
But she loves
nurse.
him, right.
She cares for him. He is the last connection to her late brother. Their relationship is complex and fraught, and when we meet them, but you can. Hong has a manner of making everything better and everyone better with what she does.
Yeah.
I'll say it 1,000 times again. She can say more in the pauses and the silences in between lines than I think what she speaks from what she's read of a screenplay. In better days, in a different life, earlier, they would have been hilarious at a dinner party or playing Pictionary or something like that. But this is not that time when we meet them.
By the way, the chemistry with the two of you on screen, Sam. Oof. I asked her, I'm like, did you know each other? She said, no, we just met there. I'm like, that is wild, because you cannot fake that. I know y'all are good actors, but you're not that good of actors to say, like, the chemistry between y'all was palpable. It really was.
Thank you.
Talk about the father and daughter aspect of this film, which of course is like the through theme. You're daddy now, you were saying, like, how did that sit with you when you were looking at the relationship with a father and daughter? Did it inspire you anymore to maybe think a little deeper about what your kids are saying?
Absolutely. I mean, and I spent the first 25 years of my career or so making films that I generated all the hope and aspiration and joy from what I believe to be coming from a character or a screenplay. And then some alchemy happens when you have kids, and suddenly everything clicks, as he well knows. His daughter's in his life as a little girl now, and we put such extra meaning and understanding to what may be just very garden variety or normal for us, but it somehow raises the stakes and somehow, for me at least, increases the authenticity of what we do.
People are amazing.
Sadie and Hong said that you guys did rehearsals for a while for this.
3 weeks.
And there was something that happened. And they said there was some light that went off. Did you see this too? Do you know what it was? Because they said they have no idea, but something switched in you, something flipped in you, and it just, like, this brilliant beauty wildness came out.
That's kind, but that's the reason why you rehearse. You make all your mistakes first before you step in front of a camera to hopefully not make them. And to have 3 weeks to do this is an incredibly generous amount of time to make a film. And I think you're only as good as the people you're working with. So whatever that was, I'm grateful to hear it from you, but I'm sure it came from paying attention to what they were doing, getting out of my head or away from the book as best I could.